a question coming in, and I want to start with you, Mark, on this, and then Judy, get your thoughts after, especially because you were tapping a bit on that anxiety. So one of our attendees wanting your thoughts on how can professionals develop resilience and emotional intelligence to navigate ethical dilemmas effectively in the presence of anxiety?
Well, I think that whenever you're in a presence of anxiety, it's because there's time pressure on you. And the people will actually try to ask you to do something unethical. What they will do is there will always be a time pressure. You need to make a decision right now. It's a rush. It's always tell people, okay, thank you very much. I hear what you say. Give me a moment. I'm going to reflect on it and come back to you. Because very often the pressure comes from what I call the emotional ethical dilemma compared to the rational ethical solution. So whenever you're under a lot of emotion, you're stressed, they put pressure on you, and fraudsters, they're good at it, then you don't know how to protect yourself. But on the other end, if you say, okay, I'm a professional, I'm going to go back to my code of conduct, I'm going to go back to the documents, the legislation, or I'm going to call for advice if I need to, then that's the best way to protect yourself. It's not true that things need to be done immediately, unless you work in such a field, but very often as accountants, we're not first responders. So there is, for us, a time that we can actually just sit, take a step back, try to look at it, because you'll see fraudsters, usually what they do in communication, they use like their body language to stress you out. They use their tone of voice. It always looks urgent. It's always like, hey, you need to do that right now. Hey, we're a team. We need to work together on it. No, because that's your responsibility at the end. You're the CPA. You're the one signing off. So take your time. Say, hey, take reasonable time. Don't say, hey, I'm going to think about it for a week. But just say, hey, I need a couple of hours just to reflect on it. But I promise to get back to you. And then respect the timeline that you give. I think that's my solution for you that I would suggest. Judy, it's up to you now.
I think those are excellent suggestions, Mark. And the only thing I'd like to add is, remember, I talked about steps in ethical decision making. And one of the key things here is to be prepared, to have your plan for addressing the situation. Because as Mark says, a lot of times people try to put time pressure on you that really doesn't exist. Their crisis doesn't have to be your crisis. But take the time to think it through, get your facts straight, and have a plan for how you're going to respond, who you're going to talk to, what you're going to say, who you're going to go to, and what options are you going to propose. And I think if you take the time to prepare yourself, that will reduce that anxiety, and you'll feel more confident about your ability to handle the situation.